The Shek Report with Dave Dameshek reporting.
Dameshek here. The wild card round is through, so let's get right to it. Just remember, players and coaches, don't get angry at me if I call your name. Ultimately, I didn't do this to you. You did this to you. Let it begin! At number 5, Mike Tomlin's decision to stick with that cotton sweatshirt in the hard rain of always magical Cincinnati, where the raindrops were 12 ounces big and shaped like beer cans. At long last, the city of brotherly love has found its queen city. Congratulations to you both. At number 4, Pete Carroll's, it's a hat, I think. Fashion faux pas, man. Not as bad as, say, wearing laces in instead of out, but still. Meantime, Bud Grant's going out to play 9 after the game. Oh, the whole thing looked like heaven on TV. Glad the people of Minnesota are dealing well with those conditions, but I do kind of wonder why we're not allowed to tell them that Southern California is within the continental U.S. and therefore they're welcome to move here at their convenience. I've always assumed it's because if too many people moved here, it'd tilt the earth, but as the Houston Texans showed us, just because you concentrate a lot of weight in one area doesn't mean it's actually going to move anything. Of course, all this is good news for the 27 NFL teams reportedly moving to the Los Angeles area before this Labor Day. Meantime, some people will continue to live where things like this happen.
Check out my man's mustache. Hey, I gotta ask you, is that snot right there, or what we got going on?
Don't worry about what it is.
Okay, we're not gonna worry.
The only explanation for that man's condition is extreme cold. It's the only explanation. Or maybe some of those raindrops from Cincinnati fell in his general area. At number 3, Richard Sherman's wild card win acceptance speech.
Football gods, I think we're with us today. Jesus Christ, thank you.
Meantime, those same deities were not on the Cincinnati Bengals side, as A.J. McCarron explains.
I mean, every time we got the ball, it was soaking wet, so.
Yeah, that's what happened, A.J. At number 2, the weirdest game of all time.
What the hell's going on out here?
While we're at it, what the hell's going on behind you, coach? It got crazy everywhere on the field. Hair-pulling coaches, cape vigilantes, jazzercising refs, and throughout, an unmistakable sense of deja vu. Only thing missing from this wild card game in Cincinnati was Raiders play-by-play man Bill King calling it. The tough part would be figuring out which play he's actually talking about, although I'd probably go with this one by Martavis Bryant.
The most zany, unbelievable, absolutely impossible dream of a play.
Not cool, alien. In one fell swoop, or I guess somersault, you one-up Gary Barnage's bum catch, and you single-handedly stole the title of best catch ever from Odell Beckham, who got to keep it for barely 1 year. Bad news is for Martavis, Pac-Man Jones insists the catch was just a CGI special effect. Oh, and sorry, Eddie Lacy. Pac-Man thinks you were CGI too.
There's nothing real in the world anymore.
And that brings me to number 1 in this week's brown paper bag of shame, which goes to the celebration penalty Willie Gay and his dance partner Bud Dupree got on a play that was not a touchdown. Sorry for the old movie reference, but Terminator proves if you go back in history and erase something, like when Kyle Reese and Sarah Connor made their time, then it changes all ensuing history. Ergo, no TD, no penalty for a TD celebration. Don't bother arguing. I'm using science. Meantime, Vontaze Burfict and several of his pals punctuated Burfict's game-ending INT. Wait, let me inflect that differently here. Game-ending INT? By running all the way down the field and deep into the bowels of their stadium that's named after another team, but didn't get flagged.
He better be down because he's running the wrong way.
Funny to think, had Burfict just stayed out there instead of coming back out, the Bengals actually would have been better off. My biggest regret, though, is that Burfict was down by contact. Because if he hadn't been and made that same run and made the game-losing safety, the whole thing would have been even funnier. I kid you, Kitty fans. Hang in there. There's always next century. Or if it's all too much for you, I got this for you. It's the brown paper bag of shame. Wear it well, Burfict. Till next time. Try not to embarrass yourselves.
This one will be relived forever.
Thanks, Bill King. I appreciate that.
Shame.